is Smith, and I'm the middle school English teacher at Seacrest. Thank you for coming by and welcome. So our sixth graders, we are in the middle of doing our civil rights unit. The foundation of this unit is the story that we are reading called The Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963. This is a historical fiction, meaning it's based around historical facts, but the characters in it are not, the main characters in it are not real characters, but could very easily be based on true characters. It's a story of a black family from Flint, Michigan, and how they end up travel to Birmingham, Alabama to visit family. And when they are there, the children for the first time are eyewitnesses to the Jim Crow laws, which were things like whites only drinking fountains, or no blacks in certain restaurants or things like that. And they also are observers of the church bombing that kills these 4 young girls. This unit has created a lot of really great conversations and has built on the things that they've already learned in the past. And it's been really interesting to work with them on it. They are about to begin their research projects. They will be choosing a person who was very influential during that time. And it could be people like Martin Luther King, Ruby Bridges, John F. Kennedy, and many others. So I'm looking forward to their reports and getting started on it, and then to see what they come up with. Also, of course, we do, in English, we do grammar, and we do vocabulary, and we do writing. We use a program called No Reading to help us with our grammar and with our writing, and it's the first year that I've used it, and it's been a very helpful tool. To follow, you're going to just see a few little videos of students at work, reading, or in conversation, group discussions, things like that. So thank you again for stopping by, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Because civilization means like Elliot said, the government, religion, stuff like that. So
Okay.
I think it's like people are privileged to be civil. Or like there's a town.
There was war and people didn't agree over land and they fought over it.
Okay.
Well, that civil rights means like a citizen, like in all, like a citizen's rights, I think. And I think back then when they talk about the civil rights, I think they might mean that like most or some people had like different rights than others, like for example, like the whites and the
Frank.
blacks.
We are reading the play version of The Diary of Anne Frank, and it's been just really fun and interesting to watch the students take on the different parts. Obviously, it's a sad topic and a sad story, but it's been great as a teacher to just observe how they're taking on the different parts and learning about them. We are also going to be very shortly going to be doing a research project based on something referenced World War II. Students are also in book clubs reading a secondary book. Some of the books are like The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, The Book Thief, Number the Stars, and then there's several others. We, of course, also do grammar and vocabulary. I try to make it as fun as possible and as interesting as possible. We have an online program called No Red Ink that helps us with grammar and also with writing. And that's pretty much it. There's going to be a few pictures of seeing us in action and what we're doing. And hope you enjoy. And thanks again for stopping by.
We're working on part 2 of Diary of Anne Frank vocabulary words.
Really? What's one of your words?
Quicksilver. His mood changed like Quicksilver.
My friends say I am the paragon.
I know, but it's not even that bad.
This is Van Danen's
just
words. The grumpy old lady.
And then like you got this.
Yeah, I have Anne and Miss Frank because she's mean to her mom sometimes.
Okay, excellent.
Anne and Anne and Bessel, and Anne and Margaret.
Right, so a lot of external conflicts happening between characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all trapped in the annex. Anyone else? External? All right, how about internal? What are some internal conflicts happening in the story?
So
Anne feels like Mrs. Van Daan is really like always against her, kind of always trying to point out her flaws. Peter is kind of shy and difficult, kind of hard to.
Kaylee's, but just that everyone thinks that like Anne should be more like Margot, and like you should be more like Margot. I wish you'd be more like Margot, because like Margot just like does the dishes.
The play version. What do you think about it?
It is very fun, and I'm playing Mrs. Frank, and it's very entertaining and really funny when we all read it.
Are in the middle of reading the classic piece of literature known as The Lord of the Flies. It is an allegorical piece of literature, which means it is filled with all of this amazing symbolism, and it is talking about human nature and being civilized versus being a savage. And it's just been a really great opportunity to really get the kids exploring and debating and discussing. And we are actually going to begin some Socratic seminars very soon. So it's just been an exciting unit. Of course, in English class, we are also doing a lot of writing and grammar. We're increasing our vocabulary, and our 8th graders are just working really, really hard. The job is to get them ready for high school, and all that is high school for them. So we're going to see just a few little clips of just a little bit of us working in class. And again, just thank you for stopping by, and have a great day. Thank you. So Julie, what are you doing in English right now?
Right now we're reading Lord of the Flies, and we're deciding which characters and traits go into civilization and savagery.
And why are you doing that?
We are doing this to kind of get a better understanding of the book and the characters in the book.
I was partially going to say like what Morgan said about the vast saying knowledge, but I also think that this is kind of just when it's not really symbolic, but it's just kind of just when Mickey kind of realizes that he needs to be like more in a leadership position and like start to like tell people how to make good decisions, because like more people are.
Hello, my name is Mr. Pat Visti. I teach math for 6th, 7th, and 8th. In 6th grade, we just got done with data displays, and they were working on bio poems with a mathematical concept. In 7th grade, they were working on equations, percent type equations, and proportions, and they wanted to do a Clarihue poem involving a mathematical concept. In the other 7th grade class, they just finished data displays as well, and they chose to do a free verse poem on any mathematical concept. In 8th grade, we finished up a cumulative review of chapters 1 through 13 for algebra, and we'll start geometry next week. And in the other 8th grade class, they are solving equations with variables on both sides. Thank you. Hope to see you.
I'm Matthew Twining, and I teach science in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I just wanted to give you just a quick rundown of what's happening now in each grade. So in 6th grade, we're working on our geology unit, and we are working with plate tectonics. And pretty soon the students will be using graham crackers to simulate the tectonic plates and to simulate what happens at different boundaries, and to then kind of compare that model to reality and see how the model accurately reflects the real phenomenon and where there's some gaps, because no model is perfect. 7th grade, we're looking at ecology. We've been looking at food webs, taking some simple food webs and making them more complicated by adding decomposers and by thinking carefully about how molecules like carbon move through the whole food chain. And we'll be continuing that, and we're also going to start looking at what happens to a food web or a food chain when you add or remove predators or herbivores or producers. And then in 8th grade, we are doing the animal kingdom. We're working our way through the different phyla, and students are going to be researching the traits of the different phyla, and as a class, we'll be putting together kind of a table sort of comparing and contrasting the different characteristics of the different phyla, their advantages and disadvantages. Eventually, the students will be doing an opinion piece where they present which phylum is their favorite and why. So that should be amusing. And that's an overview of what's happening right now in middle school science. Thank you.
Hi there, this is Mr. Flaherty, a middle school history teacher. In 6th grade, we are starting our unit on ancient Greece. Before this, we spent some time on the Hebrew people, the Egyptian civilization, the Mesopotamians, and some basic world geography. In 7th grade history, we finished up our unit on the Crusades. Prior to that, we spent some time talking about the rise and spread of Islam. We looked at the Middle Ages in Europe after the fall of the Roman Empire. In 8th grade, we are starting our unit on the basics of American government, following the Articles of Confederation and the American Revolution. Some of the things that I always enjoy are the ability to do some projects where students are able to express themselves artistically. We also do a lot of persuasive writing in middle school history, as well as being able to look at history through a narrative approach.
Things about 8th grade history is learning how our country came to be and how the government works, doing lots of different projects and activities, and seeing Mr. Flaherty's awesome drawing.
Hola a todos. Hi everyone. I'm Senor Janela, the middle school Spanish teacher here at Seacrest. Here's what we're currently discussing in class. 6th graders are learning the present tense conjugations of regular AR, ER, and IR verbs. You probably heard them singing that O as a amos and song all the time. Sorry about that. The vocabulary being discussed in class is called las tareas domésticas or domestic chores. As for 7th graders, they're learning how to express the progress of an action using the present progressive. The vocabulary currently being addressed with 7th graders is called tiempo libre or free time. And then finally, 8th graders are reviewing preterite tense of regular verbs. The vocabulary being discussed in class is called la ropa y los complementos, clothes and accessories. And the class just finished a week-long workshop where they'll learn accent marks in Spanish and practice their writing. Gracias y adios. Thank you, everybody, and goodbye.
parents of middle school students. Coach Moore here to talk about health and wellness and what we are doing right now. As always, I will continue to support your children the best way I can. Whether that is with a study hall when they need it, if they have big tests coming up, if it's with the social emotional learning, if it's pulling your child out for a one-on-one to do a check-in, I'm going to do everything that I can in order to support them. I also will be their advocate in meetings. If there's something that they have an issue with, I will be there to hear them out, to bring it up in a meeting, and to just give them a voice. In health and wellness in 6th grade, we are currently working on executive functioning presentations. I have given groups specific skills that they are going to present on, and I look forward to seeing those results. We are working in our workbook as well as looking forward to the executive functioning workshop that will happen when we come back from break. We are doing our exercise journals still. Looking forward to possibly doing some exercises on campus. In 7th grade, we are still in our nutrition unit. The students just finished presentations on various food groups. We will begin to start the documentary Sugar Coated, and I look forward to having your students start to actually cook. We're going to work our way up, starting with maybe some sides. They've already made some type of salad. We'll work on making sides and then work on building up to them eventually making you an entire meal.
Some mango bananas, some grapes, some orange and blueberries.
And in 8th grade, we are just finishing up our drug presentations because we have started our drug, alcohol, tobacco, and vaping unit. And then I will dive in more extensively on drugs and alcohol with the students. I just wanted to give them an overview. And then I will really work on them handling situations of peer pressure and what they can do to get out of situations, how bad certain things are, and really just educate them on all of the ins and outs that they need to know about not doing drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and vaping.
Hi, I'm thankful for horses, my family, cheer, exercise, Seacrest, snakes, horses, snakes again, because those are obviously my favorite animals. I'm grateful for being able to have a roof over my head and still being able to see my classmates and my friends on Zoom, and having my family during this time and not being alone, and I'm grateful.